Happy New Year! Right, where am I today? I'm in Berwick because it's a new year and I'm going to do a little trek today, but the weather's been really bad. So because it's so cold, I think it's about 3 degrees today. So 3 degrees, non-stop rain and hailstones and things like that. So the weather's been that bad. Rather than going up into the mountains or something like that, it's just going to be mud, glorious mud. So I can't be bothered with that. So I'm going to walk around Berwick. Now the reason I want to walk around Berwick is because historically Berwick's pretty important. It's on the border between England and Scotland, but the important thing is, I mean, the Scottish border's moved over time. You know, it's gone up, it's gone down, but this place has been disputed for a long time. It's now part of England. So what I want to do is, where I am now, I can see the old wall which used to go around this place. So you had like a 2-mile stretch of medieval wall, sort of 14th century. I think it was 1400 it was built. So that's pretty incredible. And a lot of it's still there, especially the embankment that made up it. I mean, there might be sections of the wall missing, but you can't actually see old sections and towers. Now they were defensive towers, and there was sections rebuilt and repurposed, Elizabethan really, so 16th century, 15th century, sorry, 16th century onwards, and the 16th century defence emplacements. And you can see from the design, rather than just a wall, it's intelligently designed, so you have shapes like this, so you can have a field of fire on enemies attacking and things like that. So that'll be quite interesting. So we'll just have a little walk around the wall, see what we can spot, and I'll try and mark things so people know what they are. So don't worry, there won't be too much waffling from me today. It's more of a history lesson. But it's a beautiful place, so there's some pretty nice views. So come on, let's make a move. It's freezing cold and it's probably going to rain again, but the sun's out. The sun is actually out, so get that on the front page of the newspaper there. So come on, let's get on. Okay, let's hit the map here and see what we've got. So here's Berwick upon Tweed. Now it's called upon Tweed because down the middle here is the River Tweed, as noted there. So what I'm looking for is, in fact, I'll change views. So we've got a satellite view. That's better. Right. So essentially, there was and still is a wall around Berwick. Now it was originally an old 14th century medieval thing, which covered the whole thing, and it was more than 2 miles long, but then it kind of fell into disrepair shortly after it was built, and later on in something like the 1600s it was rebuilt in many sections. So I'll show you the original wall. So the original wall was essentially, this is very rough, you know, so down to there, like that, with the castle at the top left there. Hang on, why have I drawn that? So you can't, those sections aren't really there now. Now what you've got is you've got more of a modern thing. So if I go to, if I zoom in a little, you can probably see the outline of it. So the 16th century wall, which is predominantly what I'm going to be walking over, but I will show you both, is more sort of, you've got Megs Mount, and then you can see it there. I'm just missing it there, but you see the structure. So, and then past King's Mount, down past the towers there, and then along like that. In fact, you could actually take this section off the bottom here. It's more like it sort of goes that way. It sort of goes more. You would join the gap there, so it's more like that these days. So there are sections left, and I will go to the old castle, but I'm going to start somewhere around here, which is like the bell tower, which in fact I'll zoom in and show you, and then that's easier. So if we come out and then we'll zoom in, so there's the bell tower there, and this is a raised section, and you can trace your way along there, no problem. And then you have Lord's Mount, which is is a defensive structure, and I'll show you that. Now, these aren't how they used to be. They used to be larger towers and what have you, and then you can work your way along. You can see the wall, look, you can see it, and it's a raised section, and it goes along. And you can see the more modern sections tend to have this almost diamond edge to them, like this. Now, the whole point of that is, by doing that, it doesn't allow the enemy any sort of section where you can't fire at them. The only part you can't fire at them becomes this line here. You know, if they sneak up here, they're probably all right, but if there's someone on the top, they can fire in this direction. But if you've got gun emplacements in the wall here, you've always got, you know, you can hit anyone, it doesn't matter. So we'll come out, and then you come along, and then again, this is all modern, this section, until you come down here. And again, that's 16th century, as mentioned there. And then if you come along, this again is raised. You would keep going, and you've got Plumber's Tower there. And you can carry that along. There's a one further down, Coxon's Tower, which has a good view of the River Tweed and the bay. And then you work your way along, and you eventually get to, when you go through the quay, you get to Berwick Lookout. And then up here is Megs Mount, which is, again, I think it was an old gun emplacement, so it's really high up and has an excellent view. And then if you continue, you're looking at the outskirts of the old medieval wall, the 14th century wall, which is Berwick Castle. Now, there is a way, if you go through this section here, you can actually climb up. But I'll have a look today, and I'll see what I can find. But Berwick's a really interesting place. It's got some great history. It's got the famous Royal Border Bridge there, and it's a great place for just walking around, really. So we'll have a look. If I've got time, I'll go along and see the lighthouse. But once you've seen a lighthouse, you've seen them all, haven't you? So come on, let's get on with it. Right, so we're starting here at one of the outstretches of the wall. Now, behind me, that's known as the bell tower. Now, originally it was a bit taller, and obviously there was a bell in it. But you can see the wall, the old wall there. So that's the old wall. The sections that are left anyway. So I'm going to trace along that ridge and see what I can spot. So let's get along there. So here's a section of the old medieval wall. So it's incredible to think, you know, 1500s there, 1500s. I mean, that's pretty old stuff. Not a lot left of it, but you know, get builders in these days and stuff lasts 20 years. And unfortunately, you kind of get in that bell tower. But let's have a look anyway. Right, just along from that bell tower is Lord's Mount. Now it's called Lord's Mount because, you know, someone important was supposed to help develop it, but I think, you know, the masons are the ones who put it together. They're the ones who know what they're doing. So very nice, pretty well maintained. Now originally, if you imagine this is the defensive part here, and then stretching out in each direction, you would have, I presume that's a latrine where you'd go to the toilet in the olden days, but you'd have gun, there you go, so you see, you can see out in every direction for defensive measures. Quite an interesting structure. Now originally this all had a roof on it, so if you imagine a load of guns on the roof to help defend the place. There's the central tower there, and then there's the sides. So let's go and see this creepy old toilet. Could be some fossilised, mummied jobbies. Now look at this, look at the height. You can see how old it is. I'm not going to fit under there unless I go right under. So look at that. Ah yes, now that seems to go quite deep. Yeah, that's more likely to be a well, I would have thought, rather than a latrine. Interesting. What's that? Someone's put a packet of tabs in the bottom. Anyway, there you go. So pretty interesting place. Like I said, the roof's gone, but you can use your imagination. So let's duck under this tiny little doorway, look, and I'll work my way along. And the North Sea today is crazy. It's absolutely freezing. Good for fishing, mind. I wouldn't mind trying to get a few cod today, but I'm doing this. So weather good and bad, I would say. The wind today is horrific, but look, that looks nice over there where the sun's coming through. But the sun isn't coming through here. It's very, very, very windy. But I'm in a section where there's some old gun emplacements. Unfortunately, the guns aren't there, but the actual emplacements are still there where they would stand. So we're going to go up to the top again and see what we can find. And hopefully, I won't get blown away like a kite. So wish me luck. How's that for a cracking view? Now I'm hiding from the wind at the moment. I'm having a look at the bay. The tide's due to come in later on, but I thought I'd do a cheeky time lapse just to show you how really nice the northeast coast can be. Yeah, the weather's rubbish, but it's more interesting on the eye. I mean, you can see it's raining over there. It's hard to see on camera, but the rain's dropping. That's way over near Bamburgh Castle, but it's a fantastic place for views. All along, obviously, you're always going to get out near defensive structures or walls, you're going to get a good viewpoint. So brilliant here. In fact, you can just see Bamburgh Castle. Well, no, you can't. It's right over the horizon, really. You've got this Holy Island right in the distance. Is that Bamburgh? I'm never sure. Is there anyone brave on the beach? Yes, look. There's one brave guy. Those waves are massive. That's good fishing weather actually, but cold all the same. But I'm going to stay here for a bit and have a rest because that wind is absolutely ridiculous. I'm working my way along the wall here. Sun's out, so it's absolutely freezing though. I can hardly move my fingers, but that's life. So views here are fantastic. Look, if you look behind me, look at that. And I found a cannon. So we'll have a look at that cannon. But great place here. You can just walk around. You know, during the summer it must be absolutely fantastic here. You can see the bay over there, which is nice. So we'll have a look at this cannon. Because all the guns have gone now, so I presume this is a deactivated cannon. Yeah, it looks like it. It's not a big one. I'll say it's not a big one. It's big enough. It'll do you some damage. But nice piece there. Look at that. So if any pirates are coming, they'll get walloped. So I'm going to carry along here because there's another tower down there, and then I'll carry along to Megs Mount, which goes up the river Tweed. And I met an old guy there who was very helpful. And shook my hand. I should have. In fact, I'll point him out in the video. Hello there. Morning. You alright being filmed? I'm just doing the thing on the walls. You sure? Okay. But he was very helpful, so let's get out this wind because it's annoying. Let's work our way along there. Sun is out, hooray! Right, I'm having a rest. I've worked my way along the wall, past all the bridges, and there's the last one there, the real bridge. So Berwick's brilliant, loads of history, even the houses, there's Georgian houses, there's houses way back, old guard places, incredible, really, really nice. I'm hiding from the wind because I don't normally care about the wind, but I could hardly bend my fingers, that's how bad it was. So I'll show you around here. So I'm in a little park here. What a view, of the River Tweed. Very nice. Sun's still out. It's quite nice. I've just met a bloke who said he had depression there. So I said, you know what? Get out. I did. I said, get out and you'll feel a lot better. He said, yeah, I'll try that. So I hope you get better. I don't know what your name is. He never said. So there you go. So I've been around the walls there. Bell Tower, Lord's Mount, all the way along the battlements. Everyone I've met's been really nice. Like I say, TrailTrek isn't just about being out in the middle of nowhere, especially when the weather's rubbish and it's just too muddy. So I thought, do you know what? I'll come and have a look at Berwick. It's beautiful. You've pretty much got unlimited walks, no matter where you go. So I'm going to do a cheeky time lapse, then I'll head down. So down there is the remains of the castle. And I'll do a few little time lapses from the walls. But there you go. So it's been a great day. So I'm going to have a cup of coffee and a little bite to eat. So cheers.
Campo, Pato, prova ad andare via in velocità, Pato, 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 gol! 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 Il Paperino la gol!
Right, I've reached the end of my trip, so I'm at the White Wall or whatever the hell it's called. So this is as far as I'm going to the west. That's down the River Tweed to the west there. Where all the salmon go. It's freezing. So you can see up there, the wall continues up. Hard to see, hang on. There. In the distance. So it's been a good trip, I've had a good walk. Amazing views here, absolutely amazing. Plenty of wildlife, there's a duck, a mallard just going across the water there. So I'm going to go back now and do a few shout outs and get some food because I'm worn out. But that's half the fun, isn't it? Bit of stuff on the lens there. So it's raining now, so there's a surprise. It always rains, doesn't it, when I come out? But Berwick, well worth a visit. You've got all this history here, incredible, brilliant place. And I wanted to send a shout out to an old boss of mine. I won't mention his name because he likes to keep private. And many years ago we came here through work and he said, you know what, let's walk along the old walls, and I knew nothing about it. So this video would have never happened if it hadn't been for that boss. And he knows who he is. He may or may not watch this channel, who knows. So it's been a good walk, but like I say, I probably wouldn't have known about this place or the history and the walks if it wasn't for that person. I know he likes going out walks. I'll promote his channel if he wants, but I'd rather speak to him about that first, because he's a good guy. He's one of the few bosses that I ever had who would, before making a decision, would ask, what's the data on that? And then he would listen to that and then make a decision. Unlike all the bosses I have now who are absolutely terrible. They just make a decision, then look at the data. And he's a Star Trek fan, so he can't be that bad. So shout out, mate, you know who you are. Right, I'm going back. I've had a good time. Actually, it's a new year, I'm doing new videos. Here's a question, so you can put it in the comments section. Do you want more of me talking in videos or less? Because some people say, shut up, I want to see the scenery, whereas other people say they find what I'm conversing about funny, and you know, the comments are on mark. Everyone's got a different opinion, but I'd rather produce videos that people enjoy. You know, it's not about me, it's about this. That's why I always say, get out. It's not just about me, get out and enjoy it. So there's a question. So put in the comments section whether you want more of me talking in videos or less. Okay, so there's a little thing for the new year. I don't want any comments saying shut up forever, because you know I have to present these things. Right, I'm off. I've waffled enough. Right, bye bye. Now what on earth is this? It's a boat made out of driftwood. Isn't that fantastic? What a genuinely interesting piece of art. Look, you've got all these views. There's the old castle wall there, the outskirts anyway. There's the Royal Bridge. And then you've got this. Isn't that fantastic? And you can get on it. Oh, aye. And there's a robin. Hello, Mr. Robin. How are you doing? He's off. No, he's still watching me. I see you. See, this is actually ideal for robins because robins love insects. So this is perfect. But this is brilliant. Incredible. See, I don't have a go at all art, it's just crap art that I have a go at. Senseless art, or art where I think this is a bit of an insult to the viewer. But anyway, here comes the train, so let's have a look. But there's two trains at once. What are the chances? You wait all day and then they both come at the same time. And with that and the coming drizzle, I'll say toot-toot, I'm off. Right, that's me done. I'm now back in the car, so I will survive, even though it was very, very cold. Straight off, I'm going to give it a mark. Going around the walls of Berwick upon Tweed, I'm going to give it an 8, because in that small area, it's only a couple of miles around, you know, 3 miles maybe if you're going in all the nooks and crannies, but there's a lot there. Historically, brilliant place, excellent views. Around every corner there's a nice view, and I like the way that historic bits are interspersed with modern bits. It's a bit like Rome, where they sort of build on top of all the old stuff, and you've still got all the old walls there, but obviously certain sections are repurposed, so you've got gateways for cars and things like that. But I loved it, really nice area. And I'm now sat overlooking the caravan park to the north, which I think Hypnothis, Hypnothis went to have a look at. So hi Hypnothis, hope you enjoyed it. Excellent views, mate. So a couple of shout outs. Goon Love, yes, I will get on the Cheviots, but I'm waiting for better weather. That's my excuse. I'm a fair weather trail trekker. And Andy, keep up the good work, mate. Do you know what? For this one, I'm going to rate it for wheelchair access. It's pretty damn good. It really is good. Certain sections you're going to have to backtrack for, you know, certain steps, but on the whole, it's pretty good. You've got pavement bits if you want it. You obviously can't get right on top of the hill, so it's okay for wheelchair access. Now, as I was saying earlier, stick in the comments, do you want more talking or less? Because like I say, some people say shut up, and other people say come on, more jokes, but you know, everyone's different. So 8 out of 10, really enjoyed it. And a shout out to my old boss there, you know who you are. Cheers, mate. I would never have known about the walls here unless we'd come for a walk many years ago when I was just a young lad, remember? But you know who you are. And lastly, quick shout out to Nature Northeast, excellent channel, and I'm going to put a link in the description, so if you go and have a look and give him a subscribe, come on, because he puts in some excellent work. I was watching his series on looking for the nightjar, and he's done 3 separate videos. I'm not going to spoil it, but please watch them, because he's obviously got a passion and a knowledge and a natural ability, and he's doing some excellent footage, so I think he deserves support. And he's been very kind to me with his comments, and he helped me with my misidentification of what I thought was a female pheasant. I wasn't sure at the time, and I wasn't sure when I was editing, and I thought I'll stick it in anyway, and surprise surprise, he was right. It was a off the top of my head, it's a red-legged imported grouse, I think. But a lot of wildlife is imported. I mean, you look at pheasants, you see them, I see them all the time in the countryside here in the northeast, but it's an Asian bird. You know, it's like rabbits, they were imported by the Romans, and there's all sorts of stuff that comes and goes. So I've had a good day. I'm absolutely freezing, so God knows what the wind chill was. I will look that up. It's definitely sub-zero. Even my eyeballs felt like they were going to freeze. So that was fun. I'm sat here and there's a guy looking at me suspiciously. He's thinking, why is he talking to himself, and why is that man wearing sunglasses? Well, I'll just pretend I'm one of the men in black. Right, I'm off. So stick a comment in, tell us what you think. More talking, less talking. Shout outs done. I've had a great day, and bye bye.